nervous.
Hey, how are y'all doing this rising? This is AMPspire Interviews, and I am your host, Plum Queen. I appreciate you guys giving us your time and your energy today, but today is podcast day. We got my boy, Dre On Wheels from the 1130 podcast. Say hey.
Hey, hey.
I appreciate you giving us your time and energy and sharing your story. Okay, now I have to ask you, how'd you like your intro?
Man, it was dope. I'm still vibing to it. I'm still vibing to it. It was,
Hey.
yeah, I know, right? You got
Okay,
it going on. I love
progress. That's what's
it.
up. That's what's up. All right, we're gonna get straight into it, Dre. I met you last week or so, I believe. You know,
Yeah,
we're in the podcast space, and you know, we podcasters got to stick together. So he interviewed me. It was so dope. I appreciate you letting me be on the 1130 podcast. Well, now you're
appreciate
here on Inspiration TTV. So tell us about yourself, how you got started, and yeah, like I said, this is your show.
all right. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Plum Queen, for inviting me on your platform. And thank you guys. Grand rising to everyone. I'm Dre, aka Dre On Wheels. Yeah, man, I've been podcasting for about 2 years. I'm from DC, and the 1130 podcast really came about where um, at one point in life it was just it wasn't going too easy for me, and like for myself, it was just feeling like every day was just the same old day. It was just things weren't moving forward, and I felt like I was just stuck. And I knew what I wanted to do. I always had this, passion of mine as far as wrestling goes, and I know wrestling doesn't relate to everyone, but I knew that, man, I want to talk about wrestling, or I want to be, up here on camera doing something talking about wrestling. But I was like, okay, I don't know how to do it. I didn't have a computer. I was broke at that point. So my brother came around, and he had some ideas. Whether they went up or went down, but he gave me a laptop, and he was doing this thing on YouTube, and he was just, giving his opinions and stuff. And I was like, man, that is something I want to do. And I always had sort of like a little radio show in a way of mine's, where I used to play like a top 10 songs, and sort of be the host, in my own little space in the room, and in my little imaginary space, pretending to be this big, star, I guess, but that's where it really, the fire really ignited doing that, in home. But my brother was like, man, like, really, like, what you doing, man? Like, you really just sitting there. And I really was. And things weren't always, going, great, in the relationship with my fiance at the point. And she was telling me, you got a lot of potential, do something, man. And I was just at that time, like I said, stuck drinking, smoking cigarettes and stuff. And like, my brother gave me a laptop, and he said, just go with it. Like I said, he was doing this thing on YouTube, and I was like, that's what I wanted to do. And I had a phone. Like I said, we was talking before, the Android. I did everything off my Android phone, and I started with the 1130 podcast. Me and my fiance was thinking of it. 1130 is November 30th. That's my birthday. So that's where I got the 1130 podcast from.
Okay.
So yeah, my guys who I network with up in New York, the good brother Bo, and Kofi Weaston from the Dirty Hills. They always say not 7:30, 11:30. Yeah, because they was always like, man, why is 11:30, man? You know, because they thought it was, you know, something weird. But yeah, that's how that came about, and I just started podcasting, and I wanted to talk about wrestling. Like I said, I just was a big wrestling fan. That's what I was really passionate about. But I also wanted to give my opinions and stuff on just random stuff and I just kept going. I just kept going with it, and it just sort of just took off in a way. And I think people really latched onto me because it was like, well, this is something Dre always wanted to do. Like I always was a sort of a computer geek and learning how to try to edit and do stuff like that. So I just put everything together and just being consistent and just keep going because I knew how, growing up for me was, it was beautiful, but I know growing up with a disability at times it was, rough, at times where, you just feel like, you just, I don't know, like I had a disability. I talked about it on my documentary on YouTube where I just feel like I was ashamed of myself. I wasn't proud of myself, and I felt like, the world was, so judgmental. Everywhere you go and everywhere you be, people want to stare at you, and or maybe with you out with your friends, and they not in the wheelchair or so, and they could go upstairs. They can go such. So you gotta put yourself in a space where you gotta think positive, and that's what I did. But eventually, like I said, it led me. Well, it didn't lead me to it, but at that point, I started, drinking more so just to, you know, hey man, like life just is what it is, and I got to deal with it, but didn't really know how to deal with it, and all these years later, it was just something that just hit me, and it was just like, you have a purpose. You have a purpose. We all have a purpose, and just talk to God. God got everything mapped out. He got everything planned for you. Whatever you want, just ask Him. And I know that could sound, yeah, but you got to put the work in. You
Mhm.
got to put the work in, and I've been putting the work in, and I know that whatever you want, it can come to you. And they say Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So if you build it, they come. So I've been working hard on the 11:30 podcast, just networking with a lot of people. You know how met you in the groups and stuff. So with the podcast, I just try to interview amazing people all around the world, from Georgia, New York, California, business owners, entrepreneurs, whatever, and just shine a light on them. It's not about me, it's always about my guests. So that's why I try to always make it. So yeah, the 11:30 podcast. That's about me and the podcast.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you. That is a dope story. I always tell everybody I am not the only one out here doing great things despite, what's happened to me. I'm gonna keep it real. You my hero. I don't know how I would feel if I didn't have my legs.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about how people feel, me having one arm, I didn't want to feel like I was a burden to other people because, I need help with certain things, or I didn't want to be the person that everybody has to be extra with because I need
Mhm.
help. So
Mhm.
I can't imagine you going through that. You know what I'm saying? Having to have somebody, take you certain places, or you can't go upstairs and things of that nature. And even with you drinking, I have a childhood trauma podcast on Saturdays. And like I said, addictions and, things of that nature is just based off of how you feel. You were just trying to use that to, get over how you felt, and you're dope because you got over it and you found your purpose. And this is what I tell people all the time. Your tragedies, they lead you to your purpose. So it did lead you. You said it didn't lead you, but it absolutely led you to your purpose.
Mhm.
And it's interesting coming from wrestling, you know what I'm saying, to
Yeah.
interviews and things of that nature. I have friends who are still into wrestling, so that is still a market out there. I guess it's just nostalgic for y'all. Wrestling, honestly, is men's soap operas. I'm gonna just have to put that on out there. That's y'all's drama
Yeah.
with the sprinkle of the violence and aggression that that makes y'all men and all that. I can dig it. I can definitely dig it.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It gone out of style for a long time, and of course, it's not what it is today. But yeah, I definitely understand, and definitely what you're talking about, feeling the burden. That's how I felt a lot. Not I really wanted to ask so much for help or be, oh no, I got it because I don't want to feel like a burden to no one. So
Mhm.
that's yeah, I understand.
May I ask how you became to living with a wheelchair?
Yeah. Well, I was born with a disability, and up until the age of 3, I was, diagnosed with a disability called Charcot-Marie-Tooth syndrome, and it just affected my muscles in my hands and my legs. So I was walking all the way up until the age of probably like 13, 14, and I started falling a lot. But when I was little, like maybe around like 2 or 3, my mother's noticed that I started falling a lot. So that's when she took me to the doctors, and I was diagnosed with a disability where when I grew up I could move my fingers and stuff like that, snap my hands, all do all that fun stuff, and then gradually I was like, oh, my hands stopped moving, but didn't know how to take that. I was just young, you're a kid, you don't know.
Right.
So but as 13, 14 came around, that's when my muscles in my legs, got weak, and I started using a wheelchair, and I embraced it, because I was like, hey, I get to ride around and do my thing, but obviously I won't walk,
I love
I
it
want,
though. I love
I
that.
want,
Love that.
I want to walk around and stuff like that. My mom always said, man, if I could walk, if I could walk around, I'll be getting in a whole lot of trouble. So I feel like, so. Hey, everything planned out, the way it's supposed to be. So, hey.
I love it. Thank you for saying that because that is a fact. It just how you put that spin on it. Grandma might be
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Grandma might be absolutely right.
Hmm.
The universe puts you in situations to really protect you and lead you in the right ways. We be looking at it as, oh, what the f, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But you don't know what you would have got into, your young boy in DC.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know
You
what I'm
right.
saying? With all your legs. So you had
Yeah.
to focus on life and, figuring out how to live instead of out with these distractions that most children, deal with, wanting to, people to love them and trying to get money or trying to be popular and things of that nature. And children get themselves in a lot of pickles,
Hmm.
because, they're out in the world doing things. So
Yep.
you had something to focus on and to keep you straight.
Yeah.
So I can't see nothing but a blessing in that. You know what I'm saying? So okay, you got your podcast going. You're talking to yourself. What do you see 11:30 podcast going? What is your goals and your dreams for this podcast?
Well, my dreams for the podcast is actually, take it to a whole new level. Actually, I want to have a studio actually, and I'm actually with EB Radio right now, which I'm, going to be taking a break right now because my fiance is, uh, we having a baby boy coming up this summer. So they have a studio in Orlando, Florida, which I believe, but I want to, have my own studio and stuff and be able to bring people on, and from it don't matter what race or background, just to come on and tell your story and be inspiring. And I was saying about this, like how I really started podcasting. I didn't know nothing about Anchor. I didn't know nothing about, no, all I knew was YouTube. So a lot of people gave me great feedback and really latched onto me because um, they were also just, they were only on Anchor, they were only on the audio side. So I just was like, yo, I could do video because after a while, after I listened to you for about maybe 5, 6 episodes, and I really like you, I'm gonna want to look at you. I'm gonna want to see who you are. So I think I had that already going for me way before I even started doing the wrestling thing. So and I just went straight to YouTube and I just took off with it. And that's really how it came about.
Okay, okay. Sounds like goals, cause yeah, I need a
And,
studio. My studio's in my house with these,
hmm
small little lights and my computer, just like you had, like you started. So I totally
yeah,
understand that, and I
and
I,
I
I
just
hope that one day we can. No, go ahead.
yeah, I just wanted to take it, to another level. Just interview a lot of people. I only had maybe two foreign guests from internationally, but I just really would like to like travel with it and just take it to another level. That's what I really would love to do.
Okay. Well, you can manifest anything your heart's desire. You have proven that. You are living proof that anything you put your mind to and you put hard work into, and what I'm saying, and faith, you're absolutely, what I'm saying, going to manifest that. Okay,
Yes.
now, what do you want people to take from your story?
Well, I want people to take from my story is just that don't let nothing stop you. Don't let nothing stop you just because life happens, and whether you could be in one situation one moment and another situation another moment, and just don't let it get you down, because a lot of people will judge you, a lot of people will try to tear you down, but you gotta stay true to yourself and just know who you believe in, who your higher power is, and just have faith. Because I know from just my story, I just was just talking about me just having a disability, coming from DC, just not knowing where to go. Just stay with it. People will say, man, like, yo, man, this ain't kicking off in time enough. Look at, man, like it's gonna be a grind. You gonna get you. I don't know if I can curse on here or not, but
Yes, you
you know,
can. We
okay,
grown.
okay. You gonna get fucked before you gonna get somewhere. So in the pocket, you gotta stay with it. You gotta just keep grinding and keep grinding and keep grinding, and just not giving up, and just gotta see the outcome with it. I didn't. I'm not making much money or making money from this podcast. It's just really about doing the episodes, and really where I get a lot of feedback from is just sharing the clips in a lot of social media groups, and people just latch onto me. People will latch onto me, and I'll just be like, "Yo, man, just thank you." But you got to stay with it. Just don't matter what happened in life. Just stay with it. Cause I always think to myself sometimes, and used to think, I'm not good enough, or oh, do people want to look at me? Because I used to grow up with I had eczema, so real bad eczema, so I couldn't wear short sleeve shirts. I mean, I got my hoodie on right now though, but I couldn't wear short sleeves. So I was ashamed of my, shame of how I looked. So in a room with a whole bunch of lights on, and being shy. So this is new to me, and stepping out of my comfort zone and telling everyone just be yourself no matter what. Just be yourself and just keep going. Just keep going, and it's gonna come.
That is the best advice you can give anybody.
Mhm.
Definitely consistency is key with anything. I don't care if you're doing it for free. I don't care if you're getting paid for it. The more you push, when you push every day, you are eventually going. You can't help but notice you because you're always there. They're always, so promoting yourself is really, really important, and also loving yourself. When you exude a certain confidence, everyone else can't help but see what you see. So I know people who have eczema as well. You know what I'm saying? And they absolutely cover themselves, pull full body put makeup all over their bodies, can't leave the house until they are
Mhm.
completely covered, type situation. So you're dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're overcoming all the things, and people don't understand that you're not the only one going through this stuff. There are so many people out here going through the same things, and all you got to do is have a different perspective, and that is what changes your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, appreciate that.
And what would you specifically say to people, I'll say in wheelchairs, because you, whether you like it or not, you represent them. Everybody that has, that identifies with the disease that you've dealt with, anybody that's in a wheelchair, whether you know it or not, you about to be their hero. So what would you tell them?
Uh, I appreciate those kind words. Um, I would tell them, just look here. Uh, Be yourself. Be yourself. Don't run away from yourself. Don't run away from yourself. Embrace yourself. And I know telling someone maybe at a young age who have a disability, that'll be hard for them to understand, and to um, comprehend. But for someone who's getting up there, maybe a teenager or so, a young adult, just embrace yourself, love yourself, no matter what, and just I think that and be confident. Be confident. And I think that'll definitely take you a long way. A lot of people say, the energy that I bring and I'm confident and stuff like that. I look at it, man. A shy boy from DC. Really? Okay, but yeah, like I said, just embrace yourself, whatever type of disability, whatever type of situation you in, and rock with it. And Dre on Wheels sort of came with, my name is DeAndre, and everybody called me Dre. Only person that really still call me DeAndre is my mom, really. So,
Of course.
yeah, I told you about that. So, or if somebody call me DeAndre, I'm in trouble. But yeah, and obviously I'm in a wheelchair, but I was when I around the neighborhood I used to live, and I used to go outside and I used to ride around, and everybody used to see me, and they just was like, "Yo, what's up, Wales?" And I just be going with it. I just be flying, and everybody used to see me, and they'd be like, "Bro, you be balling." You be balling. So I just said, Dre on Wheels. And then some people be like, oh man, you kind of like putting it like trying to like make it seem like, oh man, using your disability for something. Nah, that's just a name of I just put together, you know.
And and if that's what you were doing, and why can't you use what you got to get where you need to go?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Some people, and forget what people think though, but that's how I came up with the name though. But
Okay, I love it. That's what's up. Like you got, it's all about embracing yourself. You have truly embraced yourself to the point where you got your nickname down. You know what I'm saying? All of that. Like this little ma, this my
Mhm.
homegirl right here. She with me every day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you have to truly embrace yourself. So that means laughing at yourself. I got more amputee jokes than anybody.
Mhm.
If you can't laugh at yourself, or you know what I'm saying, if you have to be so serious about it, because two-armed people with who can walk, got problems too.
Mhm.
They got
Sure
things about
do.
them that they don't like, you know what I'm saying, that they are insecure about. So they're no different than we are. We just got our thing, and to be quite honest, we got a little bit more pizzazz. We stand out
Yeah.
a little bit more. It's all about, you know what I'm saying, how you see that.
Yeah, it's all about how you look at it. It's all about, the perception in a way. So you're right.
Well, Dre on Wheels, I appreciate you for giving me your time and your energy and sharing your
Thank
story
you.
with our viewers. We're gonna have to keep doing this back and forth thing. I'm gonna come
Oh
back
yeah.
on 11:30 podcast. Maybe come on
Yes.
11:30 on your birthday and celebrate you know, like this stuff.
Yes.
All right. Well, let everybody know where they can find you, and I will let you have the rest of your Tuesday.
All right, all right. Well, I thank you so much for allowing me on your platform once again. This was an awesome, awesome vibe. Well, you can find me, you guys, man, on YouTube at the 11:30 podcast. All new episodes each and every Wednesday. A new episode actually comes out tomorrow, so tap in with that episode. You can follow me on Instagram at the 11:30 podcast _. I got hacked last year. We want to get it straight. So if you see another 11:30 podcast, please block that one. That nah, for real. It's only me. Only one 11:30 podcast. Your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. But yeah, on Facebook, 11:30 podcast. And yeah, also if you like wrestling though, like I like wrestling, it's WrestleMania season. You can find me on the 11:30 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts at. Other than that, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Pumpcoin.
All right. I appreciate you, Dre. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see you again. And yeah, so enjoy your day. Go on, do
All
your
right.
thing.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Bye bye. All right. That was amazing. Amazing. Dre on Wheels is the shit. Like I said, we grown on here so we can cuss. But let me just let y'all know what we got going on. Of course, April 9th is my birthday. And we are launching AMPspire Media Network on that day. Get excited. So if you have a Roku, make sure you get the app. And if you don't, this is the time to go on and get your Roku. It's cheap, y'all. They got the lowest one is $30. Y'all got $30 to get this inspiration, so go on and get it. Okay, because I cannot wait to inspire you on television. You're going to see all of these podcasts and all great new content coming in April. Also, I am embracing my role as a coach. Okay, I'm a life coach, so I will be having a service, a helping hand talk therapy services. There are certain situations where people just need to vent. There are certain situations where people need advice. So I'm going to provide all of those services launching in April. So if you are someone in need of this, definitely hit us up. Okay. I am also getting into the amputee NFT. I'm getting into the NFT space. I'm going to be creating amputee inspired NFTs. That is coming soon. I'm still figuring out all of the details and how that works. But I used to be an art major. That art was actually my first love. So I am just blessed that the universe gave me a way to express that and to help others through that way. So look out for that. Also, of course, on Saturdays, we have our Soul Sister Therapy Childhood Trauma podcast. This is becoming very popular. I appreciate all of you guys coming and healing and, going through this process. Make sure you tune in at 12 p.m. every Saturday. And last but not least, Sundays with Spirit is our spiritual podcast on Sundays at 9 p.m. Me and my sister, 33 Master Teacher, she's actually my cousin. We have a comical, educational spin on tarot. Okay, I use tarot to talk to my ancestors. It has definitely been helpful with my growth. Like our guest said, having your faith, believing in who you're supposed to believe in, and you will get far. So I've been doing that through tarot. So I wanted to share that space and give a different perspective on spirituality. All right. So I love y'all. Thank y'all again, and we will see y'all on the next AMPspire interview. Peace, and of course, be inspired.